This is it. This is the YouTube channel where I kind of just spill my guts, whether it's business related or personal. But this is the beginning, so it's pretty cool for me. You guys probably don't really give a fuck if it's cool for me or not. But anyways, this video is gonna be my 0 to success. I'm not successful yet, but this video is pretty much just gonna tell you all my plans that I have, every idea that I have had, and pretty much all the steps that I plan on taking and that I've taken so far. So starting from square one, we'll go back a year and 3 months ago. I was doing music full time, basically meaning I was pursuing music full time and getting no bread in my pocket. I was poor, piss poor, didn't have anything. I just came from visiting my dad in Alabama and I was broke. I had nothing to my name, nothing at all. Like it was just me at home trying to pursue music with maybe $100 or $200 in my bank account. But I was fucking broke. I had nothing. Then I shared with one of my relatives that I was interested in photography. And this relative is probably one of the only people that supports me and my family with that kind of stuff, financial help or even just talking. They're really good with that stuff. Excuse me. But you know, I expressed to this relative I'm interested in it. He was like, okay, show me that you're interested in it. And so what that basically means is he just wanted to see that I'm committed enough to do photography as a hobby or career or whatever, just to follow through with this. So I basically was taking pictures of just like random shit with my iPhone. And then eventually I presented a portfolio to him and pretty much said, hey, this is what I've been able to do with just my iPhone. Imagine what I could do with the camera and a lens. And so he took that leap of faith and got me my first camera. And that was a year and 3 months ago, like I said. And that was pretty much the start of everything that has happened thus far. So from that point on, I was pursuing it as a hobby. I was really interested in it. I would watch videos, I would take pictures, mostly pictures of flowers and everything like that, because of course, when you first start, you don't have models to take pictures of, and you don't have restaurants you could just go into to pitch your services to. And on top of that, I'm a severe introvert. Like I hate fucking talking to people, interacting. I hate people in general, but outside of that, my introverted side would never ask some random person, hey, can I take a picture, you know? So now fast forward, I have a camera and I've been taking pictures of fucking flowers around, you know, my neighborhood. Sometimes I'll go to the city and just take some photos and stuff. Funny enough, I was on the bus with my mom and we were going to the city. And this kid walks up to me on the bus and says, hey, are you a photographer? Because I have my camera bag and a tripod with me. And so he asked, are you a photographer? Just off seeing my tripod. And I was like, yeah. And it was just so nuts and so crazy because like, I had never been asked that. I never like, you know, nobody showed any interest in my photography. And it was just this like kind of out of this world experience where I was just like, yeah, I'm a photographer. And then you know, we exchanged contact info. He asked to see my portfolio. I sent him my flower pictures. I was like, I played it off as if, yeah, I'm just a floral photographer. I just take pictures of like flowers and stuff like that. Not because that was what I was interested in. I didn't give a fuck about flowers, but it's what I had. I had the opportunity to take pictures of flowers and like random fucking architecture shit because it was what was available. So I had a shoot with him. It was maybe like 4 hours. Charged him $120, and that was like the first $120, the first dollar that I ever made from photography, and it just started everything because it gave me the confidence and the realization that I can make money from this shit. Like I can really like fucking snap pictures and edit it and then make money from it. I was like, this is like an out of this world fucking experience. So you know, shout out Joe, that's him. He's still one of my good friends. You know, after that, I have this confidence. I have a portfolio now. I got people. I got my girlfriend on it. I got this kid, Joe, on it. I got my mom. I got my brother, like different things like that. And then I'm able to start pitching to different people. You know, there are referrals coming in like from family members. Like my grandma set me up with something. And then I had an event portfolio now because I took a shit ton of pictures. And so from there, it just kind of like kept going and spinballed. And then fast forward, we're maybe about we'll say fall of 2023, where I'm mainly doing real estate photography. Whatever I get called for, it's really just real estate photography. Sometimes I get called for an event. I did a free shoot with a politician, and actually that led me to get more work through her assistance and her also. She hired me for an event, but I did a portrait session with her and her campaign photos, and they came out amazing. And I was able to, one, get my name out there because she was Asian and I live in a predominantly Asian and Jewish neighborhood. And so it was reassurance to some of the Asian community and some of the other people that, oh, he takes pictures of all different types of people, all different races and everything like that. Funny enough, I don't have any Black people on my portfolio. Super racist, but it's the truth. And it's for racist reasons. But anyways, so, my portfolio is getting bigger. It's free shoots, whatever I get called for, I'm just doing random stuff. And so now, like fall getting into winter time. Winter is pretty much the slow season. Things start to slow down, nothing's really happening, and I'm stressing a little bit because it's like I'm not getting money in my pocket. And that's all I was focused on. Still to this day, that's all I'm focused on. But I set out a goal to just improve, just be better, start creating content, start, just putting myself out there in more ways than I have been. And so what happened was I created an Instagram account, karma.photos. So I started my Instagram account and I started creating content. And to be honest, I was only doing photography, but I did a little bit of videography. Like it was kind of like, mainly photography and then some videography. But I was frustrated because I wasn't getting booked for videos and people weren't really following me or people weren't really reaching out to me for videos, and people would disqualify me and say, hey, do you do videos at all? Or it doesn't seem like you do videos. So I was like, okay, let me create an Instagram account and give myself a reason to create videos. So then I did that and I started creating content. And at first it was pretty fucking ass. It was terrible. I had got some equipment that was tailored toward video, like my continuous lights. I had got that and it was useful. And I started to create content and I started to get a little bit better with each video, just a little bit and a little bit. And then I started to attract a couple more followers. There were some people in the area, some real estate agents, some businesses that would follow me or would answer my DM at least. And so at this point, my portfolio is becoming amazing because I have myself, and then I'm also continually getting clients like dentists, restaurants, headshot sessions with different nonprofits and organizations, like a whole bunch of different stuff. But my portfolio is really strong and shit is cinematic as fuck. People are really fucking with my shit. And they're like, he's really nice. And so that leads us like pretty much to where we are now, where right this second, I'm not making any money, meaning I have no retainer clients. And I do have a lot of prospects, being clients that I worked with in the past that want shoots, and people that are eyeballing me but haven't taken the next step of booking a consultation call or anything like that. So, but right now, in terms of retainer clients, dentists, restaurants, all that stuff, some of them have stopped working with me. Some of them went out of business. Some of them just didn't know how to use the content. A lot of times that's what it is when it comes to video production, is you can create banger videos and banger content, but that client needs to have a proper marketing plan or marketing team to execute on the content that you create. So sometimes it goes to waste and sometimes it gets used, but for the most part, a lot of clients need a lot of help with their content. They're just afraid to ask or afraid to own up to the fact that they don't know everything. So it's always a bit hard. But anyways, not to get too off track, it brings us to today where I'm currently making no money, $0 as like last week. And I kind of want to just document how I go about getting clients, how I go about building my business to build a successful production company. And I just want to take you guys through the little steps that I took to build my portfolio, build my clientele, and also be in my new home studio that I got. And also like how I'm doing it all at 21 and how I've been able to do it in pretty much a year or so. So that was pretty much the overview of, me doing this shit over the last year. And I just turned 21 last week, so we can tie that into it as if it's important. But yeah, building my portfolio. I got notes here. Building my portfolio was hard as fuck. Not gonna lie to you. It's hard as fuck to get people to work with you. Like, it's easy to do something for free. Like, if you just go to events or go on the street, it's easy to do shit for free. But to do paid work and good work for your portfolio, very hard, And usually, like, when you're just like doing street photography and stuff, you're not bringing a whole bunch of shit. So like, your portfolio will be street photography things, whether it's people or it's buildings, architecture, just street photography shit. It's really hard to build a good portfolio. Like, we're talking like, model pictures, like beauty shots and corporate events and corporate photography, like, those commercial type photos that you put on brochures. All that kind of stuff is hard to do for free or to get a client doing that specifically. So, the way that I built my portfolio were a couple different ways. And I'll tell you all of them pretty much because I'm not gatekeeping. One was definitely photo walks. Photo walks are fucking amazing. Mostly for the street photography aspect, but they give you the confidence to almost break out of your shell if you're an introvert. If you're with a group of people and you all are like asking somebody, hey, can I take a picture of you? Then it's less of a daunting thing than if you're alone and you're like, hey, can I take a picture of you really quick? Because it's kind of weird. Like, if it's a whole bunch of photographers, the purpose is taking the picture. And on a lot of photo walks, they will bring a model with them. And then it'll just be all of you guys getting a lot of similar shots, but it'll be of a model. And usually somebody will see a great shot and you just copy them, and then that's your portfolio. Now, whether you want to be ethical and moral and be like, I'm not going to copy someone else's shot, you don't have to do that. But if you want to actually build a portfolio rapidly, it would be go on photo walks where they have the models and take pictures of whatever the fuck somebody that's way better than you takes, because it cuts down on the effort of posing somebody. It cuts down the effort of location scouting. It cuts down the effort of trying to find somebody to take a fucking picture of. And it cuts down on getting beautiful people in your portfolio, because a big issue when you first start is that the people that you take pictures of are average at best. Some of them are ugly. And that plays a huge part in the quality of your portfolio. Sad to say, the image isn't always as important as who's in it as well, the subject. So definitely go with photo walks. It's definitely an amazing one to build your portfolio. Another thing are cheap/free shoots. So you can walk up to somebody and say, hey, I'll do this for a reduced amount. I'm just trying to build my portfolio. Or, hey, I'll do it for free. I'm trying to build my portfolio. And a lot of people will say yes, depending on who it is. If it's a business, they may be a little bit more skeptical or weary about it, just because they could be a little bit butthurt. But if it's an individual, say you're trying to get into real estate photography, if you offer a free shoot or a reduced shoot to a real estate agent, they will probably say yes. If you offer a headshot session to them, they will probably say yes, because it's free shit for them and they're not, prideful or anything like that. So definitely offer free shit and reduce shit. And then finally would have to be events. If you are trying to build an event portfolio, which is a great portfolio to have, you can definitely just crash events. Go on Eventbrite, see what types of events there are, like parades and networking events, every fucking thing you can think of. Go there, bring your camera. For the most part, if it's a large enough event, they won't even question it. It'll be like, oh, this event has a photographer, and you're good money, bro. You don't even have to worry about nothing. If it's a really small event, it may be a little bit more like, okay, like, why are you taking pictures? Then you just pretty much explain and they'll be like, oh, okay. But definitely go to the big ones and take pictures there. of parades, networking events, conferences, things like that. Like those shits are amazing, you know? And especially if you go to a conference, they'll already have photographers and videographers, and you will just fucking blend in with them, bro. Promise you. And they probably won't even question you either, because it's just like, oh, this nigga's taking video. Like, and security won't come up to you because they're like, oh, it's one of the videographers or the photographers. So definitely go with that. And then finally, for portfolio building is just job shadowing people that are better than you and are more experienced. If you job shadow a photographer or a videographer, say for instance, you wanted to get a look that looks like mine with the backdrops and shit like that, DM me, be like, hey, look, I really want to learn to do what you do. Can I shadow one of your jobs, or can I pay for a quick session or a course or some shit like that? And most people will say, yeah, if you like offer money, especially to somebody for something that they're not doing, they'll 100% say yeah. Like, it doesn't have to be a lot. I'm not offering courses about lighting and shit, but if somebody said, hey, like, can you like teach me how you light your scenes and I'll give you like $150, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. I'll teach them everything I got. I'll write it down on a fucking book full of just info about lighting. So that's how you build your portfolio. If there are any other ways, definitely comment down below, because I would love to hear them. Now, this is one that I definitely wanted to talk about, is my environment, right? So I'm Black, I'm poor. I also have muscles. I've kind of shrunken down a little bit over the past like year or so, but I have muscles still. And I'm 6'6'1", so I'm a bit taller. And I live in a neighborhood of Jewish people and Asians. So I'm sure you can put two and two together and figure out where I'm going with this. But it's not easy exactly working out here and trying to run a business out here, especially the fact that I'm young. You'd be surprised, because the age thing definitely plays a huge part in your ability to book clients, to get people to trust you, to get people to book with you. It's mostly just a trust factor. It's mostly just, you know, the fact that you're young, so people are going to judge the fact that you're young, and they're going to think, oh, this person is incredible, or this person isn't, you know, knowledgeable enough, or it's all bullshit. You can literally showcase everything that you fucking do, that you know, and you can show how good your product is in comparison to somebody else's. It won't really matter. Your age will always play a part, and people will always disqualify you for it. And when you also mention your rates alongside your age, I'm telling you, bro, it's going to just, it's going to hurt. It's going to suck, because people are going to be like, oh, that's outrageous. And the production company, or the person that's like 40 years old doing this shit, that does a fucking terrible job and is still shooting on DSLR and shit, they'll be able to charge double what you charge, and there won't be any hesitation to pay them. So like, realize that if you're young, if you're 18, 19, 20, probably up to like 22, 23, people are going to judge the fuck out of you, and they will ask you all the time how old you are. I get asked all the time, how old are you? Like, did I fucking ask how old you are? Good bitch. But nah, people will always ask you how old you are, and will always disqualify you for your age. It's funny, because a lot of people tell me, just lie about your age, bro, because your shit is amazing. And that shouldn't be a reason to not book a shoot or book a client. So it's always something. Another thing that I also notice is that I tend to speak in a manner that isn't aligned with how old I am. And my thought process isn't particularly a 21-year-old's thought process, but that's been like that my whole life, since I was like 13 or some shit. Like, I was reading Rich Dad Poor Dad at 13, so I was kind of like autistic that way. But anyways, yeah, people always disqualify you for your age, no matter how intelligent or cognitively smart or, you know, mature you are. It won't matter. You know, if you're young, they're gonna disqualify you. Fucking lie about your age, they're right. But back to what I was saying, is that I have a lot of disadvantages in terms of my demographic and the phenotype that I fit into. And it does not help, not one bit, when it comes to building my business and client acquisition and trying to get people to trust me. I can talk so much info content on social media, but it's always going to slow it down and hinder my process, just because of the different things For instance, right, I said I'm in a Jewish neighborhood. I've reached out to a couple of the dentists that are Jewish, and it's funny because I offered something that they went and found somebody else to do that happened to be owned by a Jewish person, and the job that they did was fucking terrible. It was fucking terrible. But guess what? They fit within their culture, I guess, or they fit within something that they can trust. It's like, oh, I'm gonna trust this Jewish guy rather than this fucking young black kid. You know, they can look at my social media and look at their social media and compare, and mine will look 10 times better. But because they relate more to the other person, it's always just gonna be like that. It's always gonna be, I'm going to trust my people over you, and I'm going to pay my people over you. You know, they keep their money within their community, and it's always been like that. So if that's an issue that you face also with, you know, being black or whatever the fuck you are, it's just gonna happen, and you gotta just like kind of grind through it and find somebody else to fuck with. This part is gonna be about my current mindset, my goals, and how I'm going about marketing myself, client acquisition, and all that shit. So first off, my goals and my mindset. Obviously, you can kind of tell my mindset and how I think based off of just how I speak in general. But I'm always just about business. I'm always about money. That's the only thing I think about all day long. At some point in my life when I was younger, of course, I had my worries about girls and was like obsessed with pulling girls. And, you know, that was just my thing, was like learning how to pull girls. That didn't really do nothing for me. I didn't really give a fuck. But at this point in time now, I'm really obsessed with building my business and getting money and getting out the hood and just making a name for myself and being not exactly known, but just successful. And it's not for any type of vanity metric or like driving a nice car or having a nice crib or living a certain lifestyle. It's literally the fact that I just want to know that I can do it. When you live your life knowing that you're destined for greatness to a degree and you haven't reached your self-actualization yet, it's fucking painful, bro. Like, to know that you're too smart to be poor, or you're too smart or have some God-given gifts, and it's not realized in the world yet. There's a saying that I have. It's like, I know I'm great. The world just hasn't realized it yet. But that's literally how the fuck I feel. It's like, I grew up so fucking smart, so capable of everything, whether it was sports. I was pursuing music prior to doing video and photo, and like, I can fucking sing, bro. You don't have to like hear it now, but like, I can fucking sing. And it was like, yo, like, I could really sing and I can write lyrics and stuff, but nobody's like viewing my shit. Nobody's really fucking with it. Like, it's painful to be really good at something and have a talent and a skill that you can share with the world, but the world isn't receptive to it. You know, the world isn't receptive to your greatness yet. And so it's painful just to live every single day, just not being able to live out, you know, who you know you can be. So for me, it's exactly where I'm at now. I told you I'm making like $0 now. It'll probably change in like a week or so. But in terms of that, it's like, I got all these skills. I got this fucking setup. I got thousands of dollars a year. And I'm not making 10K a month yet. I'm not making 5K a month consistently yet. There's been months where it's like around that, but it's not consistent where I'm getting it every single month. I'm not, you know, I'm nowhere where I need to be. Now, granted, I've only been at this in total for like a year and like 2-3 months, which means learning the skill and trying to build a business from it. But, you know, just to realize that I got a gift of being good at shit and I'm not fucking rich or successful from it yet, that shit is painful, bro. I honestly think a little bit of it is just luck and circumstance, you know? And it's shitty to say because some people don't believe in luck and circumstance and shit, but I personally do. And I personally believe in the fact that you gotta be a little fucking lucky. You know, you gotta be a little fucking lucky to get a lot of shit. You know, when I think about my luck, I'm like, all right, my grandfather giving me that camera, that's a fucking lucky thing. Being piss poor and getting nothing and then like getting an expensive ass camera gifted to me, that's a lucky fucking thing. But also being black, being poor, being, you know, and when I say poor, I don't mean like, you know, middle class poor, I mean below the poverty line, you know? So like I'm like real life type. But yeah, I think a lot of it is definitely luck and circumstance, and that will determine a lot of your success in life in general. But for me right now, it's determining so much shit and I hate it. And I'm trying to like counteract it. It's kind of like the slow season, right? When it's a slow season, you start to up your outreach to like fucking 1,000 emails a day and fucking 50, 60, 100, 2,000 goddamn cold DMs, whatever the fuck it is. You start to up everything just to try to get one client because your shit is dry as fuck. It's kind of like that. It's like, all right, I've been given these like shitty circumstances and now I'm trying to fucking rape the world. Now, I said, all right, now I'm trying to grape the world back because it's been graping me my whole life from my circumstances. Anyways, let's get back on track. You guys know my mindset at this point, I hope. Content marketing, I want to talk about that. That's pretty much my main way of getting clients, not so much inbound, but mostly just posting content so that people are able to go to my page and see what the fuck I post and the type of work that I do. It's mostly so that I can just be a little bit more successful with cold DMs. It definitely has worked. My strategy for it is pretty fucking ass because a lot of the content that I make is for filmmakers and filmmaking business owners. And I'm trying to attract clients like real estate agents and dentists and shit. And I don't really speak to them in my content, which is something that I gotta fix personally. But overall, making content and being seen through Instagram is definitely a big helper in getting clients and having them trust me. Also, having my show reel on my Instagram, it's the first pin post. So whenever somebody clicks my Instagram, instantly it says cinematography show reel. They click on that bitch, they see what the fuck I do, what I'm about, and then they get a feel like, oh yeah, this nigga's really about it. Monthly income, again, currently at this exact second, I'm making $0. That's okay though, but I'm making $0. Typically what I would get from one client is maybe like 2,000 a month. You know, like say we shoot once a week, they're paying me like at least 500 a week, you know, so 2,000 a month. Some pay me more. There's a couple that may pay me less if it's less frequent, if they're not really looking for deliverables like that. If it's just like, I just need a little bit of this or some shit, it may be a little bit less. But I wouldn't even consider those fucking retainers. It's hard because with retainers, you have to be more than just a filmmaker. Like, unless it's a large agency or company, whatever, that has a full marketing team and they just need to outsource the filming and the creative and stuff, that's a different story. But in terms of going to your local fucking restaurant or dentist and shit like that, that shit is not where it's at because they don't know how to use the shit. They don't know how any type of social media works. They're just looking like, oh, they just go online and see other people creating content, but they don't know how to utilize it. Like, it'll just be, I'll post it, and then they can't even keep up with posting it consistently. You know, they'll post it 1, 2, 3 days, and then after that, pretty much forget about it and be like, it didn't work. The fuck? Especially if it's not paid marketing, then how the fuck do you expect 3 videos to work? Of course you got like 20 fucking views on all 3 videos. What do you mean? How do you think this shit works? It's not how it works. I have over like 70, almost 80 videos on my Instagram, and not one of them has broken 5,000 plays or views yet. And that's okay, like, but that's how it works, you know? Like, you gotta keep at that shit for an extended period of time until something clicks. And even if you're not getting a ton of views, you can still get clients. That's a whole nother story. But anyways, retainers, they fucking suck because a lot of them don't last. A lot of people breach contract. You can write a contract for 3 fucking months. That does not mean shit because you and I both know you're not going to court. I'm not going to court. So why the fuck does, you know, like, they can sign 3 months. After month 1, they're probably gonna give up because they don't realize that content takes a long ass time. And they're also not willing to put enough ad money to get results. You know, like, there was a restaurant that I was working with and, you know, they were on a retainer and stuff. and I found out that the ad money they were putting to a restaurant was like $5 a day. I was like, yo, I'm putting fucking $10 a day to my own business. I shouldn't be spending more than you. Like, that's not how that works. You should be spending at least $20 a day. Like $5 a day to figure out if the ad is working, yeah. But if you're just running ads, like, fuck, man. Like, I'm telling you, people don't really know what they're doing. They just see something like somebody doing content, and they just see something like somebody doing content, and they just want to emulate it, but they do a terrible fucking job at it because they don't understand the internal parts of it. Anyways, and then I want to kind of talk about my goals being one, building my production company and being able to service clients, and maybe eventually like get a studio, like a space and stuff. And pretty much I just want to make like 10 to 15,000 a month. I think that's a reasonable goal. And I'm talking about like overall, like it doesn't have to be within the next fucking year. But like if I can like, you know, be an adult, like 25, making 100,000 or 150,000, I think that's pretty cool, my boy. Feel me? And so, yeah, like that's pretty much my goal. And now I want to transition from doing just that though to also being a creator and creating full time, because I don't want to service clients. Like I do, I like it, but at the same time, it can be frustrating because they can just be frustrating people. So this is why I kind of built this studio, is not only to service my clients, but to also be able to service myself and give myself the opportunity to create content every fucking day and be able to be seen online by maybe potential clients, but also people that fuck with me, fuck with my energy, and can relate to some degree, because shit is fucking hard. But yeah, like I want to be a full-time creator, and I think that YouTube might be my space. Instagram, I've noticed, is cool. Like it's easy to like operate on there. You can connect to people in your area real easy, but I don't really see the money there. Like the money's in the brand deals, and I'm not sure how much of that I'm gonna be doing, but I guess we'll see in like a year or two what happens with this YouTube channel and shit. But yeah, I kind of want to be a internet Wi-Fi money type guy, you know, like digital nomad type shit. I'm not really trying to be outside working a job or doing physical things. I'm just trying to be on my little computer, girly pop, you know what I'm saying, drink my little Starbucks. I don't even drink Starbucks, but just for like the fact that I could, you know what I'm saying? And build my little tiny house and travel around the country. That would be ideal, to be honest with you. And pretty much just to wrap it up, because this is only going to be about kind of like what I've been doing and where I plan on going. This isn't really too much about, you know, specifics on my strategy, but currently for how I generate leads in my business and how I'm doing it, it's pretty much all through referral and Instagram. I've tried emails. I've sent a shit ton of emails, personally writing them out. I never tried the whole like mass email instantly shit, but I've personally written out well over like 100, 200, 300 emails, and I've gotten not one single answer from anybody. And I've tried different scripts. I've tried common like little, hey, I've tried, you know, pitching them in the first fucking email. I've tried semi-pitching them in the email, but mostly just an intro to me, like, hey, quick intro, I'm this, that. This is what I want to offer you. I've tried, this is the packages that I offer. I've tried, I walk by your place all the time and I just wanted to like email you about this. I've tried, damn, that light turned off. I've tried so many different random ass shits and not one answer through email. Now, on the other hand, Instagram though, I've definitely been able to get clients through Instagram. Now, over the past few weeks or so, it's been a little bit different. I've still been able to get clients, but I noticed that a lot of people have gone with social media managers already, which is tough. And also, when I'm trying to search for businesses on Instagram, the ones that pop up are the ones that are the most active, obviously. And those ones are managed by social media managers. And the thing about social media managers, because I mostly offer recurring content, they're not trying to lose their fucking job. So obviously they wouldn't share me with the decision maker. They wouldn't go like, oh, here, boss, here's somebody that can create high quality content for you. Then their job becomes obsolete, right? So one thing that I've particularly noticed is that everywhere that I've reached out to, or that I'm starting to message and try to get into contact with, already has a social media manager that's doing a fucking terrible job, to be honest. But they already have a social media manager, and the social media manager is either deleting messages or not passing them along to the owners. And luckily enough, I was able to speak to one of my clients who I had reached out to on Instagram months prior. And then I went in and walked in and asked, like, can I speak to the owner or manager? And I spoke to them and they were like, yes, we need you. Like, they were looking for somebody because they weren't happy with the results. And then turns out once they regained access to their account, they realized that I had messaged them and was like, why the fuck didn't the last social media manager tell us that you messaged us? Like, we could have used this shit months ago. Now they're out of business. But it's like, they could have, but yeah, I had walked into the restaurant and they were like, we need you. Turns out social media manager didn't pass on my contact info, didn't share nothing. And they were fessed up about that. They were like, yo, you were doing this bullshit ass job and this guy offered his services. And like, I came in, I was saving the fucking day, but it was too late because, it was too late before I could save the fucking day fully. But anyways, my outreach strategy is kind of metamorphosizing. I'm trying to figure it out because a lot of places are already represented by social media managers. And of course, social media managers aren't going to have somebody replace them. So I am starting to just do in-person outreach. I'm still doing social media outreach like the majority, but I'm slowly trying to build the confidence to go in person more often, because every single time that I've gone in person to find a client, it has been 100 times more receptive than doing anything else. Like, it's so astronomical. Anyway, so basically my outreach strategy is pretty much social media like Instagram, DMs, commenting, things like that. And I find that, going in person, way better experience. And I just have to find the confidence to start to go out and actually go into the locations, because they're so much more receptive when I go in person rather than just cold calling or rather than DMing, because DMs never even reached them in the first place. So what I plan to do going forward is just try to incorporate more like in-person stuff, like going in person, kind of showing them my portfolio. I redid my show reel maybe 2-3 months ago, and I made it a lot shorter so that it was faster to get to like the meat and potatoes, so that people would not lose attention, because I found that the other one was like maybe a minute and a half and people were losing attention and not really watching all the way through. Actually, it was more than that. People weren't really watching all the way through and they were just distracted and got bored, and like here, like, I would hand them my iPad and then they would kind of hand it back after maybe like 15 seconds as if the shit was ass. Like, so I redid it just to make it get to the good shit first, really fast. So gonna start going in person. I want to start networking a little bit better. Not particularly more, but just like in a more efficient way. One way that I found was pretty good was doing a shared post on Instagram with my clients. So one of the real estate agents that I worked with, we did a shared post where it was both of us, and I got a shit ton of her people's kind of in my network now, because they saw her and they saw me doing the content for her, and it was just like a great experience. So definitely doing something like that is really cool. I tried running ads. I think my ad was just too salesy and fucking ass. I think that I should redo an ad that is a bit more authentic to me. I like really slow, cinematic, emotional things. The ad that I tried to make was really high paced and high retention and just disingenuous to who I am, I guess you'd say. So I want to make an ad. I want to create an ad that is closer to me and, you know, just how my personality is, because you could probably tell that I'm really chill and, you know, not really high energy. So the ad that I made prior was really high energy. I'm like, hey, real estate agents, this is what the fuck, you know? So I want to like redo it and just be like, I'm nice with this shit. Book me, you know, kind of like that. And then finally, I just want to talk about my current offer when it comes to my business, which wasn't too hard to create. It just took, you know, having this newfound space. It's pretty much just have people come into my space, film a month's worth of content, maybe like 30 videos or so, and then get the fuck out, because I don't want to have, you know, people coming in all the time. I want to film all 30 videos in one day on different backdrops, different colors, different setups, so that they have everything they need. They get a better price point at it. It'll be like $500 to $700 for a month's worth of content. It'll be at a better price point for them because there's no gear costs, there's no travel fees, there's nothing like that. It's just gonna be me filming, and then they get the fuck out, and then I start editing, and then I get them their turnaround in whatever it is, maybe 2-3 days, because I'm home. I could just plug it into the hard drive and then like upload it like instantly. And then on top of that, I also want to kind of craft an offer where it's gonna be, I film for them, they bring their own hard drive, and then they're able to do with their footage whatever they want at an even reduced rate, so that they're getting the best out of the money that they spend, while also getting a professional setup. And I don't have to do any type of editing or sitting behind a computer at all. Like all it is just taking the SD card, uploading the footage from my SD card onto their hard drive, and then them getting the fuck out. That's the next offer that I really want to offer to people. So that's pretty much it in terms of this video. I think that it's a pretty good one as an introduction to who I am and what I do and what I'm about. If you guys are interested in learning business tips or following me along my journey in building my business, going from zero to whatever the fuck I want to make, then definitely follow, hit subscribe, all that stuff. And like the video so that the algorithm does its thing and I get more people to view the video. I'm not sure what I'm gonna name it yet. Probably how I'm gonna get fucking rich or how I'm gonna line my pockets with cash. All right, thank you.